can't imagine how satisfying it is.
Satisfying doesn't even begin to describe how awesome PlayStation really is. Anyways, welcome back, true believers, and all you Spider-Man fans, Avengers fans, and even Batman fans to another very exciting superhero-related video. And yes, you heard me correctly, I did indeed feature Spider-Man, the Avengers, and Batman all in the same sentence. And the main reason as to why this is primarily relates to the awesome bombshell of news that PlayStation did drop earlier today relating to the conference that they are going to hold on March 25th. And if you haven't seen it already, the name that Sony has managed to label this upcoming PlayStation presentation is indeed called the State of Play live broadcast. Now, if you do personally keep updated within the gaming realm of news in general, you're pretty much aware that this is extremely different for Sony to be doing within PlayStation's department, since they almost always present all of their games within E3. But since we know for a fact that Sony will indeed not be attending E3 this year, as well as them saying that they do want to present their upcoming games on a much more personal level to the gaming community, PlayStation is instead opting out of E3 and in turn doing a presentation much similar to that of a Nintendo Direct. So instead of receiving a huge over-the-top presentation from Sony during E3 this year in June, we are going to be receiving a much more direct broadcast presentation from them on March 25th. Now, for me personally, I've always been a huge fan of E3 within the previous years, and I love how the multitude of developers and publishers come together and showcase a bunch of amazing games in one awesome place. But seeing how Nintendo have been doing these direct presentations for a while now, as well as recently with Microsoft doing their own Inside Xbox presentation, it does seem like Sony and PlayStation want to do the same thing with their own brand. And usually these direct presentations can go either way for all respective companies, where either the majority of the fan base will enjoy what they see and new games be announced, or it could just be a very lackluster presentation in general. So for example, Nintendo almost always has really great direct presentations that their fan base will enjoy, while also showcasing a bunch of new games currently in the works. Whereas recently with the Inside Xbox presentation, it didn't really get a lot of the Microsoft fan base excited for the products that they already know about. And even though I personally believe that Sony's E3 presentations have been absolutely superb ever since 2015, I really hope that this direct presentation could live up to the same standards. And if that just so happens to be the case, especially if we do receive some awesome updates or announcements relating to Spider-Man, the Avengers, or possibly Batman, I do think this presentation could be an amazing one. So if you go onto the PlayStation blog website, you will find a recent article fully breaking down everything you need to know about this presentation and what time it'll take place. So as the article states, State of Play, PlayStation's new video showcase debuts Monday. And more specifically, as you can see by this official PlayStation image, it does say that it will be broadcasted on March 25th live at 2 p.m. Pacific time and 5 p.m. Eastern time. And to move on with the article itself, it does state tune in to the very first episode of State of Play, where we'll share new updates and announcements for PS4 and PSVR software. And as this article was fully written by the director of social media over at PlayStation, Sid Schumann, he does state, glad to finally be able to talk about this. Today, we're introducing a new video program called State of Play, and the first episode kicks off Monday, March 25th at 2 p.m. Pacific time. State of Play will give you updates and announcements from the world of PlayStation. Our first episode will showcase upcoming PS4 and PSVR software, including new trailers, new game announcements, and new gameplay footage. You can watch live on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook worldwide, and we'll be offering up the VOD, which stands for Video On Demand Edition, shortly after the episode airs. And this is just the beginning. State of Play will return throughout the year with more updates and announcements. See you Monday! So not only is PlayStation going to fully inform their fan base about the software that will run on the PS4 and PSVR systems, but they're also going to be showcasing brand new trailers, announcements, and footage of games that aren't out yet. So after reading all of that, how does this relate to Spider-Man PS4, the Avengers project, and possibly Batman Arkham 2019? So to start off with our main man Spider-Man PS4 first, we do know that the majority of DLC content that Insomniac was planning to add within the game has already fully been implemented. And if you do happen to read the collector's edition fine print, it does state that users will receive DLC by the latest of March of 2019. So even though I don't think we'll be receiving a full DLC chapter of content like the Heist, Turf Wars, or Silver Lining, there is a chance that we could receive a free update from Insomniac, including another suit. And to add on to the possibility of Spider-Man PS4 possibly being featured in this presentation even further, PlayStation did post about this on their Twitter page and was then retweeted by Bill Roseman. So even though this tweet pretty much says the same thing as the article itself, it does state announcing state of play. Tune in to our first episode Monday, March 25th at 2 p.m. Pacific for new PS4 and PSVR software updates and announcements. Now, even though I do think it is way too early for Insomniac, Marvel, and Sony to reveal the sequel for Marvel's Spider-Man at this presentation, I do think given that Bill Roseman retweeted this post, there is a chance we could receive an update for the game on the 25th. However, if Spider-Man PS4 isn't the reason why Bill Roseman retweeted this post, it could be relating to the much anticipated Avengers project. So as we all know, the Avengers project is indeed being developed by Square Enix, Crystal Dynamics, Eidos Montreal, and Marvel Games. However, even though it's already confirmed that the Avengers project is indeed a multi-platform game, I do think that there would be a really great marketing strategy for Marvel to team up with Sony again to reveal the Avengers project gameplay on the PlayStation 4 platform. Besides, even though the Avengers project is confirmed to be multi-platform, we don't know 100% for sure if the Avengers project universe and Spider-Man PS4's universe are one and the same. And once again, since Bill Roseman himself fully retweeted this post, who if you don't know is the vice president and creative director at Marvel Games, I do think this does have some form of significance relating to a possible Marvel gaming property. But as to whether or not that relates to Spider-Man or the Avengers, we'll just have to wait and see on March 25th. Now moving on to a character that I rarely talk about on my channel is of course the Caped Crusader himself, the one and only Dark Knight, of course being Batman. Now if you're someone who loves Batman just as much as I love Spider-Man, I highly recommend that you go and follow the Gotham Knights over on Twitter and mainly subscribe to all my YouTube buddies Slickmoff, Salvage, and IronGen. Not only will they keep you updated and hype relating to everything Batman in general, but they are your #1 news source for everything relating to Arkham 2019. But if you're somehow unaware, there are a lot of rumors and even some evidence points leading to us possibly receiving a Batman game this year in 2019 being made by Warner Bros. Montreal. And specifically as to why this Batman game in particular could appear during this PlayStation presentation is because Warner Bros. Does have a very solid relationship with the PlayStation brand. If you do recall, both the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 systems have had some extra content put into every single Batman Arkham game that has released thus far. Specifically in Batman Arkham Asylum, if you did buy the PS3 version of the game, you could actually play as the Joker in the challenge mode. As for Batman Arkham Knight, which was the final installment within Rocksteady's trilogy of Batman games, that actually included exclusive Scarecrow missions that you could access with the Batmobile within Gotham City. But primarily revolving around the main developer at hand here, which is Warner Bros. Montreal, they also had an exclusive PlayStation add-on with Batman Arkham Origins, including the Nightfall pack with 2 skins and 5 challenge maps. So seeing that Warner Bros. Does have an extremely beneficial and profitable relationship with Sony and PlayStation overall, I could see them possibly revealing the game during this PlayStation presentation. And if by some miracle we do happen to receive a Spider-Man PS4 update and or sequel tease, as well as Avengers project gameplay and a Batman Arkham 2019 reveal trailer, this presentation could be absolutely incredible. So fingers crossed that we could receive some updates or announcements relating to these games during this presentation, as well as just see what other awesome games PlayStation has in store. But until that time comes, everyone, thank you all so much for watching, and please let me know all your thoughts in the comments section down below. What do you think about possibly receiving some Spider-Man PS4 updates, as well as Avengers project gameplay and a Batman Arkham 2019 reveal during this PlayStation conference on the 25th of March? For me, I really hope that we do receive some update relating to Spider-Man PS4, either if it is a tease of the sequel or just another free suit update to the game, and mainly I really want to see what the Avengers project is like if they do show it. I'm also a pretty big Bat fan as well, but I really want to see how Marvel Games involves with this, given how Bill Roseman did retweet that PlayStation post. But at the end of the day, I really hope this presentation is a very beneficial thing for the PlayStation brand as a whole, and I really hope that the games they show will be worth the wait. But until next time, everybody, stay spectacular, superhero fans. Peace out.
I don't like you, you don't like me. We could fight each other, or we could fight Lee, but not both. This mean we're good?
I make no promises.
Works for me.